Welcome everybody to Rolling on Three, the first three-wheel podcast for all three-wheel owners. If you don't already know, I'm Keith Hammer, creator, owner, executive producer, and engineer of my own show. And welcome everybody to the show. Today I got a new special guest. I have Claudette from Andrew, Texas to the show. Claudette, tell everybody what you're rolling on.
Oh, well, Keith, currently I'm rolling on a brand new 2026 Can-Am Spyder RTL in the Vegas Pearl White.
Beautiful, beautiful ride.
Oh,
Beautiful ride.
yes, yes. And I love it. I love it. This is my third Can-Am.
Your third. Wow.
My
Wow.
third. I've been riding most of my life. I guess I started around 14. And I've ridden two wheels, I've ridden sidecar rigs, and in 2017 I kind of started looking at the spiders and I thought, uh-uh, them things are ugly. They are just ugly. And about 6 months later I walked in, looked at that same bike, and I said, oh, that's beautiful, I want it. And once I got on that and took a good almost 1,500-mile ride on it, I was hooked, and I haven't gone back since.
Well, that's a nice story. I mean, when did you actually start riding? Like before three wheels? When did you actually get on a
I
bike?
was about 14, and so I've been riding for a long time because I'm almost 63.
God bless you. God bless you. So, since 14, you come from a riding family, or is this something you wanted to do?
No, I wasn't in a riding family. In fact, my dad hated that I was on motorcycles. I was a daddy's girl. My mother couldn't care less. Um, but my dad, he's like, those things are going to kill you. You're going to die on them. And I had a pretty serious wreck when I was 14, and it tore me up pretty good. And first thing I did when I come up off the pavement, I was looking at my friends saying, don't let my dad know I was on this motorcycle. And they just kind of pointed up and they said, and my dad was there right there in the front yard and he saw the whole thing. But that didn't stop me. I'd been bitten by the bug, and it's kind of like an addiction, a drug that you get a hold of, and it just opens up something completely new in you. And I mean, it gives you a vitality and an energy and a freedom like nothing else.
No, I mean, listen, the open road actually, it breeds so many different types of I guess escapes, getaways, euphoria, and people are just like, the experiences are crazy. And
Yeah.
what really brought you into bikes? Like, did you will just watch the show one day, a friend, like what did it, or just hey,
One of the neighborhood kids had a motorcycle, and of course there's probably 20 of us. And well, you understand neighborhoods, you're in Brooklyn,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, okay. So they had one, and we're all like, yeah, I want to try it, I want to try it. And we didn't use helmets back then. We didn't wear, you know, I lived in Southern California. We're out there in shorts and flip-flops riding this motorcycle around the neighborhood like a bunch
that's
of
what's up.
goofballs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's up.
I mean, we were fearless, And even after I had that wreck, it didn't stop me.
Good.
I rode dirt bikes for a little bit. It wasn't quite my thing, but it's
Hmm.
good experience.
Yeah.
It's really good experience because you learn loss of traction and changes in terrain, and that really helps you when you go to two wheels. And so, off and on through high school, I rode, off and on through there. And then, gosh, I guess when I got married, I quit riding because I was busy raising my kids.
Okay.
And that was the biggest mistake of my life. Not my kids. Not my kids.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, well, we got to make sure they know that I love my kids. um, but I quit for a while, and I guess it was in 90 99. I went through a divorce, became a single mom,
Okay.
raising three boys by myself.
Mm.
And it was rough. It was really rough because I'd been a homemaker most of my life.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I guess, gosh, it was several years after that happened that one day a guy that I was seeing, he rode and I'd ride with him occasionally, and he came across an old Moto Guzzi motorcycle that a friend of his owned, and Moto Guzzi,
Yes,
okay.
I do.
That's where my email comes from. I was called Guzzi Girl because that's all I wrote for a
When
long
I saw
time.
the email, that's the first thing that
Uh-huh.
popped in my head.
Yeah. Well, and I got back on that bike, and I'm gonna be honest, Keith, there for a while I was real nervous because
Mm,
it had been so long.
right.
And once I got past that fear, it rejuvenated me. It because I was so used to doing something for everybody else all the time, I forgot to do things for myself.
Mm, mm.
And getting back on that motorcycle changed everything for me. It made me a better person, more confident, and it made me a better mom because
Oh,
I
wow.
had that release. And in fact, sometimes I'd come home from one of my two or three jobs that I was holding, and my boys would look at me and they'd say, "Mom, you look stressed. You go get on your bike and come back in an hour." I mean, they're just like, "Go, just go, get you some wind therapy." And it worked, you
I
know?
mean, listen, that's all what it's about, right? I mean, I hear these stories of people say, "Oh yeah, I take the bike out, it frees my mind, rejuvenates my soul." I don't feel that way when I ride. I ride it just because of like the coolness factor of it. Like, it's to me, it's like I get it, if people want to clear, and I understand the feeling, but I don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna get on my bike just to clear my head." I just get on it because I like how it feels to be
Hmm.
on the
Oh
bike, just
yeah,
being cool. I'm
it's
still thinking
wonderful.
about all the drama and stuff I'm going through, so it don't clear my head, but it
Your
just makes
mind
me
is
like,
too busy, sir.
yeah, it's too much stuff going on in here to clear
You
it out.
know, and I got so many things going on in my life, but the nice thing about when you get on your bike, you're so focused on the ride, on
Yes,
being safe, on watching the
yes.
traffic, and yeah, you look cool. Honey, if we didn't, we wouldn't be doing it.
That's why we buy
You
bikes.
know, but you get on there and it does, it just changes you,
No,
for the better.
absolutely.
Yeah, it changes you
Absolutely.
for the better.
How's
So,
the how's the riding in Andrews, Texas? Like,
oh,
how is
well,
it? Explain to me.
we
Never been
have
there.
honey, we live out in the high desert of West Texas, right in the smack dab middle of the oil field.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you've watched Landman,
Favorite
that's
show.
where that's where I live. In fact,
Wow.
I lived in Midland for 21 years before I remarried and moved to Andrews. And we're a little town of about 15,000 people, and it took a little adjustment. But I tell you what, I wouldn't trade it for the world now. We're halfway to everything in the country, which makes
Okay.
it nice. Yeah.
Okay. No,
So,
yeah. I mean, I get it.
yeah.
I mean, like that's foreign to me. I remember the first place when I visited that where I saw more cows than people, I was blown away. I was like
Well,
I was
in
like,
my
where
defense,
are
yeah, I've never been to New York.
we?
My husband's mom grew up in Queens.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, of course, that was way before our time, honey. And,
Yeah, that was a
yeah,
different neighborhood back then. That
you
definitely
know,
was.
You never know. Maybe someday I'll make it up there. I drive all over the country. I'm
Hey,
riding everywhere now. It's I travel a lot.
okay,
I'm
good.
retired, but I'm busier now than when I worked.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on my third year of retirement, so
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
I'll be going into my fourth year of retirement. So yeah, I know. I thank this for happening. If this didn't happen, I don't know what I would be doing. So this like Can-Am thing like fell right in right while I was getting ready to retire. So it's kind of keeps me
perfect.
busy. So it's like one of the
Yes.
perfect things.
Yeah, you
So
got to
if
keep yourself busy.
oh, absolutely, 100%.
Hmm.
That's the
Yeah.
whole key. Keep moving, find what you like to do, keep a good attitude, and everything works itself out, I believe.
Well, Keith, if you're like me, you've got a passion for this.
Yeah.
Something that just kind of overrides everything else. You think about it all the time. You can't wait until you can get out there and ride your bike. I
Yeah.
mean, and and that's one thing that has really uh helped me a lot. I'm not bored. I am not bored.
Okay.
My husband stays busy. He's still working. He is not allowed to retire. He will drive me crazy.
Yeah, that was my problem with retirement. The first year or two, I was driving my wife crazy. She was like, "Yeah, you better go outside to the garage and start
Hmm.
taking it around." So that keeps me busy. I work on more bikes than I ride now, so it's like, every time I get invited to a ride out or when they have a big ride out, I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go," and then everybody on the ride out calls me and says, "Hey, can you change my oil? Can you get my bike ready for the ride out?" Before that happens, I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not riding. I'm just fixing bikes. But it's fun. I like to tinker around. I like to do these type of things. So it's
Yeah.
it's all fun. If
Yeah.
I'm in Andrews, Texas, ever, um,
Hmm.
and I'm riding, or if anybody watching the show is riding, what are they gonna do when they get there? Food, places to visit, like what's going
Wow.
on?
Like I said, we're a really tiny town. We're the only town in our county. Um, well, there's Frankel City, and they've got a population of 5. Um, yeah, we're out. We call it out in the middle of nowhere. It's ugly as hell, but the people are the people are the nicest people you'll ever meet. Um, so we make up for the scenery with our hospitality. You
Okay.
know, yeah. As far as places to eat, we've got a few little restaurants here. Couple good ones. You can see my fur babies coming in to check you
Yeah,
out.
I
They're
got
like,
some
"Who
visitors.
is this
I got
guy?"
visitors.
Yeah, and but there's really not a whole lot to do where we live, and that's one thing I do love about my riding is it allows me to go out and see and do new things. We go to South Dakota every summer and ride the Black Hills. We've ridden the Tail of the Dragon. In fact, my last Spider, that's where I broke it in on. We've ridden the Pacific Coast Highway from Oregon down to San Francisco. We've ridden the Sierras. We've ridden, gosh, all through the Branson area in northern Arkansas. And Texas has a lot of riding, a lot of riding.
Yes, I've
Um,
rode through Texas. I've rode around
yes.
Houston. I can't say Texas. Of
Oh no,
course,
honey.
Houston. I
You
haven't
need
went. Haven't ventured far out.
to go out towards the Big Bend. There's a lot of really super scenic riding out there. It's hot.
Yeah, it's
It's
hot. No, I
it
I,
gets
I learned
hot.
my lesson the first time we rode to Galveston, and yeah, I cooked myself a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
got humidity down there. Out here, we've got no humidity.
Mm.
So, moisturizer. You got to use moisturizer out here, but but we don't
but
have a whole lot of traffic. We got some oil field traffic. Hello, Coco. We got some oil field traffic, and it keeps you on your toes. Them big
no,
old
no.
trucks running around and stuff. Like I said, landman, you get a real good idea of what we negotiate here. It's kind of like Road Warrior out here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I see. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lot of flat ground. I see.
Mm-hmm. A lot of flat ground. We don't have anything out here to stop the wind except for mesquite bushes and barbed wire. So
That's a real Texas right there.
yeah, yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about Texas. We've got so many different regions in the state. If you want to see mountains, you go down towards Big Bend. If you
Hmm.
want desert, you come out this way. If you want coastal beauty, you go down towards the Gulf. If you want to see forest, you go to East Texas. Rolling hills, you go to Central Texas. I mean, we got a little bit of everything here. So.
What would be like of all the places you rode? Do you have one that sticks out as the favorite?
Y'all, I'm sorry if you're in Texas. I apologize now because I love Texas. I'm a Texas girl. I love riding the Black Hills of South Dakota.
Mm.
That is some of the most scenic riding I've ever been to. The roads are very well maintained. There's lots to see and do there. In fact, my oldest grandson last summer was his first vacation away from dad. And we took him with us, and he rode on the back of my Can-Am with me,
Oh,
all
okay.
geared up. And that little boy is hooked now. He,
Ah,
oh yeah, he asked me the other day. He says, "Grammy, we going on the motorcycles again?" And I said, "We are, baby. As soon as you're out of school." And we'll be there this July. In fact, we're going to be there for the Deadwood Three-Wheel Rally that is
yes.
happening. So, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We got a
No, no.
lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, it's the busy season. It's definitely the busy season. You
Yes.
told me that your husband uh, bought his first Can-Am. Is that his first one?
No, that's his second. In
That's the
fact,
second.
he bought his first one back in 24. He's been riding since he was 5.
Wow.
Um, he used to race for Honda and Husqvarna back in the 70s. Um, that's one thing that kind of attracted me to him when we met was that he rode. And of course, I rode. And he said, "Do you want to ride on the back?" And I said, "Heck no." I'm not going to look at the back of your helmet, and so yeah, he kind of made the transition. At the time, he was riding a Goldwing, a 2018 Goldwing uh, DCT
Oh,
in
okay.
root beer,
Yeah,
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 in a
yeah.
root beer color, and it was getting where it was getting a little rough on him on dirt parking lots and slopes and stuff, parking the bike, moving that big old heavy
Yeah, it's a heavy
900
bike.
pound
It's
bike
it's
around.
it's it's very wide.
And
Yeah.
the long trips were starting to tire him out a little bit. And one afternoon, he and I were just cruising through the hills there. And I just pulled off on the side of the road by this beautiful green meadow. And I said, "All right, get off your bike, get on mine, and go ride it right now." You know, now us Texas women, we aren't scared to tell our husbands what to do, and I said, "Just go." He said, "Well, I said, "I'm fine here. I'm gonna watch the grass grow for a little bit." So I
Okay.
kicked back and I sat there probably about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And yeah, and he came back and the look on his face was incredible. He's like, "Oh my God, that is so much fun." He loves doing twisties. He loves tearing into twisties.
Okay.
And he came back and he said, "This thing is so nimble and capable and wow, and it's fast." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it." And I said, "I've been telling you this for 5 years." And we no more got home. And the following week, he went down to the dealership and bought a 2024 RTL.
Okay.
And yesterday, he went and traded that in on the brand new 26 RT, well, the Spider Sea to Sky in the Mars Red. And he
Yeah,
was
so
so convinced.
he bought
Oh, if
the
you haven't seen
comfortable
one,
couch, man. That's the
yes,
comfort.
if you haven't seen one in person, you need to go check it out.
Mm,
That is definitely a guy's color. It is not fire engine red like some of
no.
the pictures show. It is a multifaceted color that has brown hues and orange hues, golds and reds in it. Depends on where you're standing and where the sun's hitting it. And he is in love with it. That's all I heard about last night.
Well, that's good. I mean, listen, something that you can enjoy together, that always
Yes.
works, you know?
Yes.
My
Yeah.
wife,
And
she's not a rider, but she enjoys the whole organization of things. Like she'll ride with
mhm.
me all the time. She'll say, "Let's just take the bike out, go to the movies." I'll be like, "All right, you know, to me it's no big deal." She
Yeah.
doesn't she's interested, but she says as long as you're riding, I can sit in the back. I'm comfortable.
We may have to work on that. We may have to work on
No,
that,
no, no,
Keith.
no, no, please.
Oh,
I want to keep my toys to me, and then you know she get hers when she's ready. But I don't want to wake up one morning and then she's like, "Oh, I'm taking the bike. I'm going." I'm like, "Hey,
get her own.
yeah, that's in the near future.
Problem solved.
That's definitely in the near future." Do you see
Good. Good.
when you're riding? Well, I know you're in clubs, and we'll discuss that.
Okay.
But when you were riding before and then you just got into Can-Ams, did you see a lot on the roads or no?
A lot of Can-Ams or a lot of women
Can-Ams.
riders?
Can-Am.
Um, Actually, no, I didn't.
Right.
I really didn't, you know. Like I said, the first one I saw was sitting in the dealership. And I thought it was ugly as, as the backside of a sick cow. I mean, it was ugly. It looked odd. It really looked odd to
It's
me.
different. It is
It's
different because
very different. It's
my
so different.
experience was like, so I went from two wheels, but you know, more of a reckless two-wheel guy, you know, just and then you know, like you said, life changes, kids, marriage, you know, I was off of it for a long time. And
Mm-hmm.
then the Spider came out. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, I saw the F3. I was like, you know, I was like, I just it didn't interest me to like jump on it, but it did say like, wow, that's pretty cool when it dropped. I forgot about it. And then when the Riker came out, I didn't even know. It was a friend of mine who don't even ride. He was like, "Hey, I remember back in the days you was interested. Did you see this thing?" And I was like, "Oh man, I got to run to the dealership and buy it. This thing is awesome." And I went and bought it, and I was like, and then everything just changed for me right then and there. But I tell people like when I used to go to work on it, and I tell guys that just take it for a spin. They was like, "Oh man, this thing is awesome." I was like, "Yeah, you just don't know until you sit on it. Like this thing is wild, bro.
Exactly, exactly.
It's
And that's what
wild."
happened with my husband, you know. And when was it? Last June? My best friend, my brother from another mother. I never had any brothers.
Okay.
Um, he's near and dear to my heart and always has been, and he's ridden all his life. And it was getting where he was getting a little rough on the bikes, and it was really hurting him, honestly
Mm,
hurting him. Our last 1,000-mile trip, it took him probably 3 weeks to recover from it. And
mm,
I
mm.
told him, I said, Cecil, man, just come with me to the dealership. Just sit on one. Just
Right.
sit on one. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And he finally went. And as soon as he sat down on that British green 2025 F3 Special Series Limited, he's like, oh, yeah. I mean, you could just see him melt into that bike. And it was just like he had always been meant to be there. He didn't even take it for a test ride.
That's it.
It was
That's
done. It was a done
sold.
deal.
Sold. I
It
like
was a
that.
done deal, you know?
I
And I
like
love
that.
that. And I'm always encouraging people to go and try it out. Just sit on it like your friend. Just sit on, ride it. Ride it for a
Yeah.
little bit.
Just take it for a big spin and then come back and
Yeah.
tell me if you didn't like it. No one's ever
Yeah.
came back and said, it sucks. You know,
It's not for
I,
me.
I tell
Yeah.
you right now, if you want something in New York City because you want a lane split and weave in and out of
Ooh.
cabs and trucks and all of that,
Yeah.
then this ain't for you. But if you
Mm-mm.
want to chill and still have the speed, the power, and have fun, then this is what you're looking for. Me, those days are over, right? I don't want to
Yeah.
get knocked off by a mirror or sandwiched between two idiots who are mad that I'm, shooting up
Oh,
the
honey, I
center
lived in
lane.
Southern California. I know all about that traffic.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's something that, and that's what I love about the spiders. Not only are they comfortable and fun,
mhm.
but they're stable and way safer than a trike. Most people want to go when they make that switch, they automatically think trike. I've had a couple friends flip their trikes.
Mm,
And I mean it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty at all. And
mm.
I pray that never happens to anybody, but it's there.
Right.
And, physics are against you on a trike. I don't know how many of y'all were kids when you rode tricycles.
Oh yeah.
We were always wrecking on them things,
Oh yeah, yeah. I wrecked
Wham!
my tricycle and big wheel. I've rolled over on
Mhm.
that thing hundreds of times. I've ate a lot. I've been eating concrete since I was a little kid.
Yep,
Absolutely.
that's the
Absolutely.
daredevil in us, honey.
Yeah, it tailors off now. Like I remember one of my friends a while back, he had just bought a Hayabusa and he was
Ooh.
like, "Hey, just get on it." So I say, let me just get back on it, man. I was scared. I was like, wait, hold on. What am I doing wrong? Like it was like a foreign object for not being on it so long. I was like, man, I can't no more, man.
Yeah,
I
I
still
still
got a
own a,
two-wheel in the garage
yeah,
that that's like just sitting there, like, I don't know if I'm gonna ever part with it. It's the sentimental value.
I still have a Moto Guzzi V750 Anniversarial. Beautiful little bike. Beautiful little bike. 850 cc's, nimble, fun, fast. I don't ride it anymore. I just don't. I'm so in love with the Can-Ams now that I told my husband, I said, I might as well find another home for that bike, you know? And he still has a two-wheeler and he rides it occasionally, but he's hooked on these Can-Ams,
No, I
you
hear
know?
it. I hear you. Listen, look, we're both hooked on Can-Ams. We're both heavily Can-Am affiliated.
Yes.
You are heavily affiliated on the Women on Road. I wanted to talk to you
Yes.
about that.
Cool.
How did it start? How did you get in it? What are you up to? What are you doing for that? So floor
Okay.
is yours. Floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I guess probably 3.5, 4 years ago, I came across the Facebook page for the Can-Am Women of On Road. And I kind of looked at it and I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. This is ladies that ride Can-Ams like me. And the more I looked through that Facebook page and the more I started reading the posts, seeing the pictures, I thought, this is the place for me. It is a group of over 20,000 women globally. I mean, globally, that's amazing. And they are so supportive. They're kind, they're encouraging. We get tips on just about everything. And golly, so I joined the group, and the more I became active with it and started seeing all of this, and I thought, wow, this would be great to have some ladies get together on a ride. Do they have any rides? Does Can-Am Women of On Road have any rides that is for these ladies in this group? And come to find out, they really didn't. There's all kinds of ladies rides across the country, but nothing specifically for the Can-Am Women of On Road. So uh, I got this crazy idea, and I'm famous for those. Got this crazy idea, and I called LaShawn Jackson down in Houston, Texas. I had met her through the Women of On Road Facebook group, and I asked LaShawn, I said, hey, you've been with this group a little longer than me. Do you know of any rides that are for the Can-Am ladies? And she said, no, no, I don't. And I said, well, I may sound a little insane, but I want to organize one. And she's like, you do? And I said, yeah, I do. And so I went to work with her help and the help of another lady, Maxine Morris, down in Spring, Texas. And, mind you, we're almost 600 miles apart. And we put together the very first Can-Am Women of On-Road Wind Sisters Weekend in Kerrville, Texas. And
Wow. So I'm
yeah,
talking to the founder.
yes. And I'll tell you, I put a lot of heart and a lot of work into making this event happen for these ladies. And, you know, I wanted to do it for them. That it was all about the ladies and giving them an opportunity to network with each other and get to know each other and make new friends and just share with each other while we go out and ride and hang out together and eat together. We love to eat in Texas, honey. We love to go eat. Um, and the Texas Hill Country, we've got one of the famous riding roads down there called the Three Twisted Sisters.
Okay.
And it's right down the road from Kerrville there. So we said, yeah, this is where we want to have it. And we ran into a little roadblock last July when the floods hit on July 4th. That was pretty devastating for that area.
Okay.
And people asked me, are you still going to have this ride down there? And I said, absolutely. And they kind of looked at me like I'd lost my mind. I said, those people need us and our revenue now more than ever.
Mm.
They need that money coming in those restaurants, those mom and pop shops, those little
Yeah.
souvenir stores.
Hmm.
So we, in true Texas fashion, we didn't give up. And we had this event, and the ladies that attended, Keith, I'm going to tell you, those ladies were starving for something like this.
Wow.
They were so excited to be there, and they were so thrilled, and they were so happy and thankful that this had been done. And we shared stories about who we were and why we ride or what called us to riding a Can-Am Spider. And some of those stories were heart-wrenching and inspirational and encouraging. And I mean, I'm bringing Kleenex next year for everybody because let me tell you, it was amazing.
That's
And
impactful. That's very impactful.
it is. And that's the whole purpose of the Can-Am Women of On Road
Okay.
is to empower these women, to encourage these women, to show them that they can get out there and ride too.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, and we're gonna do it again this year. And this year, Can-Am has asked me to be a community leader for the Can-Am Women of On Road, which was really humbling and exciting at the same time. And I'm just thrilled about it.
Little
Yay.
congrats there. Little congrats there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
I didn't see that one coming. That one kind of blindsided me, but I loved
Can-Am,
it.
Can-Am does like to blindside you.
I love
They're
them. I love those folks
Oh
up
no,
there.
I get along. I get along with them. I mean, as I guess as much as I try not to annoy them, but I do sometimes. But like the first time they reached out to me, they said, "Hey, we need to talk to you." Like that was the information. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I
Uh-oh.
said, I'm getting a cease and desist. I'm using their name and blah blah blah. And they was like, "Hey man, are you serious about this podcast thing?" So I was like, "Actually, yeah." I mean, I just checked my email. I got like 50 people waiting to be on the show. He was like, "Wow." He was like, "Hey, we like what you're doing." And then they spoke, and then we had some conversations. They was like, "Hey, do you want to be a brand ambassador?" So I was like, "Oh, what's it tell?" He said, "I will send you. You talk about the brand. We'll keep you updated. You like work with the community with us." And I was
Mhm.
like, "Bet." It's all funny. And we've had a very, very great relationship, and we've bounced ideas off of each other, and it's kind of cool to work with the company, and they
Yes.
see the vision, and it's they have it's like the only part I don't like about it is they have a turnover rate. So like the people I talk to might not be there a year from now, but I get it. I mean, people move on, lives change and
Right.
things like that.
Well, the thing I love about it, and it's grown on me. It has really grown on me. Is the willingness to listen to input of their customers and the
Yeah.
people that ride their product. They are fantastic about listening to people. And yes, they can't take every single
Yeah.
idea and
Yeah.
implement it,
Of
but
course.
they get a good sense of what's going on in the writing community, in the Can-Am writing community, and they pass that on to the proper departments. And I tell you what, I've seen things changing for the better, and I love it. I'm so excited to be a part of that process and to be able to take feedback from these ladies all over the world and pass that on to Can-Am and know that it's going to be heard. That you don't get that with, you go out and buy a Ford pickup or whatever. They don't care if you like it or not. You just bought it. They're done with you,
No, no, you're right.
But
This is
Can-Am,
actually, yeah,
yeah,
you're
they're
right.
invested in us. And
Hmm.
and that's how I feel. I feel like I'm invested in
Yeah.
as a writer. And as a woman writer, even more so because of the Women of On Road group.
No,
And
I mean, listen, the same way, and I like the fact that they're taking the perspective of the women and bringing that over. And then when they reached out to me, and they was like, they were trying to get an understanding of how when the Riker came out, it created this phenom, I guess, with Can Am, and they was always
yes,
come up to me and say, "Why did this happen? Like, can you explain it to us?" And I used to have meetings and explain. I was like, I said, "You're not going to understand it until you visit it." So
it's a
I,
culture. Yes,
yeah,
it's
so
it's
I
it's a
was
different
pulling.
culture.
We were pulling teeth. Come to the Houston WAF. Come to the Houston WAF. Come to. I said, I'm telling
Yes.
you, experience it, and then you tell me. And we've had guys, they've had their road team come one year, and they brought the bikes to set up. Even they were like, wow, this is impressive. Now we're having, some of the real movers and shakers show up this year,
Good.
2026 Houston WAP March. And we've already, I think we're probably over 1,100 bikes at this point.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
So,
And that's going to grow, Keith. That's going to
oh
grow.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
In
Well,
fact,
look,
I'm going to
goal
be
is yes.
there. Yeah, I'm going to be there on March 28th at the Can-Am tent alongside of the Can-Am reps that are going to be there with
Yes.
us and LaShawn Jackson.
Yeah.
She is another community leader for the Can-Am Women of On Road. We're going to be there talking to ladies, meeting them. If they're from out of state, like I know you're going to be there, you're going to get some good old Texas hospitality, honey. We are big huggers down here.
Yeah, I
So
know.
just, if you
This
got
is my
personal
fourth
space
year.
issues, this is the wrong state for you. you know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you and the Can-Am folks and meeting everybody out there. This is going to be something new for me, and I'm excited about it. I'm
Yeah,
really
it is.
excited about
Listen,
it.
this is my fourth year. This is actually the first year I'm not bringing a bike. Um, yeah, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
doing. I had so many. I had so many people ask me to do custom work that bringing the bike would just been like cutting out. So I rather just give the
yeah.
people what they want. I have 4 years of riding in Houston. I know what the WAP is about. I'm telling you, bring your bike because it's amazing. But this year I'm not. But I will be attending all the events. I will be
Well,
working on
sweetie, you
people's
won't be
bikes.
alone. I can't bring mine this year. I'm actually going in 2 weeks to Houston to a function that LaShawn Jackson is hosting down there,
Okay.
the Spider Sister Sip Social at the First Brew Coffee Company house. We're gonna park our bikes out there, visit with ladies that don't ride, that are
Oh.
curious about the bikes,
Okay.
tell them why we ride, answer their questions, and just kind of be there in a low pressure situation for them. So I am actually riding my bike to that. That's an 1,100-mile round trip for me. solo. Um, but the Houston WAP unfortunately falls the weekend before one of my son's wedding. And I'm literally going to have to fly back in my pickup to West Texas and then throw the rest of the family in there and head to Fort Worth for that wedding.
No,
So
I understand. I understand.
next year, I'll be riding in.
We want to get all the women on road there next year.
Yes. Well,
I want
why
to get
not
them.
this year? Ladies, if you're in that area, if you're in Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, it ain't that far, ladies. It ain't that far. And, just go online, look it up. There's information there, where it's at, what activities. I know they got a gala Saturday night. Ladies, we love to dress up and look all fancy and sharp. They gonna have all kinds of things going on. If y'all are in that area, come down, check it out.
Yeah,
Check it out.
listen, we have it's for you meet people from all over the country, right? We've had people from Canada come, we
Awesome.
get people from California. You meet people from all over, and you wind up following these people, making friends, and then before you
Mm-hmm.
know it, you're taking a road trip and say, "Hey, I'm passing through your state. I met you. Oh yeah, we'll hook up. We'll take you around." And
Yeah.
even at the WAP, if you want to break off and you never been to Houston or you want to take a ride, and you can do that. You can,
Yeah.
um,
Well,
if you
see,
want
and
to hang
that's the
around
beautiful
and just
thing.
right, if you want to
Yeah.
hang around and talk to all the riders and just
Yeah.
people park in the parking lot, they vibe out. Uh, we're gonna have night activities, games. It's just a whole big like a family reunion.
Experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah. And
mhm.
that's the thing about people that ride the Can-Am Spiders. We are a huge community. And boy, when we come in contact with each other, it's like, hey, we've just met our new best friend. Honey, I'm always meeting my new best friend, and I love that. You know, um, I love that when you're riding down the road, people anymore don't notice two-wheelers that much. They're kind of numb to them. They see a Can-Am Spider and they
Yeah.
take notice. I
Are
mean,
you?
I have men and ladies in cars, trucks, whatever, giving me thumbs up all the time. They notice you.
Yeah.
And when we get together in groups like that, like the WAP rally, like the Wind Sisters weekend, anytime like that, people notice that.
Yeah. 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 It
And I
looks
mean,
cool.
yeah, it is. It's
Mhm.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
It is incredible the power that comes out of that. Um, I mean, we're out there, whether we realize it or not, we're influencing the community around
Oh,
us, whether they ride or not.
absolutely. Yeah, you'll
You
get
know,
somebody looking it up. They'll look it up. Then what is that? Take a
hmm
picture and look it up.
What is
Are
going
you?
on here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
that
you
looks like
modded?
fun.
Are you modded out? Do you have a lot of mods or no?
Not currently. I just got my bike last month. Well,
Okay.
yeah, last month in February. Um, we had a little spat of winter here for about 2 weeks. We
Okay.
we occasionally have winter here, and it's ugly when we have it. But I've only had my bike a couple weeks. I'm putting a few little extras on it this weekend,
Nice.
and
Nice.
I also, especially for the Wind Sisters weekend, I have a pull behind trailer for my bike
Oh,
that
okay.
I load completely full with goodies for the ladies. Um, and that trailer went to the painter last week, to my painter, and it is getting painted to match my bike. So,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful.
ladies, if you're on the Can-Am Facebook page for Women of On Road, y'all check in next Saturday. And oh my goodness, we got a cat fight. Start talking about ladies, we got us a cat fight. But next Saturday, I will be down there in Houston. I'm gonna take my trailer with me. So if y'all want to check that out, just check it out on the Facebook page. LaShawn and I'll be hanging out together with a bunch of other ladies, and it's gonna be really cool. So that to me is my favorite accessory because ladies love to take things with them on trips. We
Oh,
love
absolutely.
to take
Listen.
stuff.
Listen, that's what it's about. It's your experience.
Yes.
And to add to that, right before I have to close the show, and this is going too long, and the algorithms get all messed up, and people are like,
Okay.
um,
Couple.
if you have to describe your Can-Am experience in one word or one sentence, what would it be?
Mm, mm.
I get them all the time with this.
Oh, let's see. It has given me a renewed sense of freedom and empowerment that I've never had before. And that's something that I tried to bring to the Win Sisters weekend. And I sent you a graphic,
Yeah.
a save the date graphic. Ladies, if you're watching, I don't care where in the country you're at, save your date. September 24th through the 27th in Kerrville, Texas, is the second annual Can-Am Women of On-Road Wincesters Weekend. We are now supported and sponsored by Can-Am. So you ladies make plans to come down and hang out with us, do some of the best riding in the state of Texas, and meet some fellow Wincesters, make some new friends.
Well, I'm going to have all of that listed in the links below. It'll be
Excellent.
your contact, the Women on Road contact, all the ride
Excellent.
outs. So everything will be in the list, in the links below. So if anybody wants to speak to you or join the Women on Road and join
Absolutely.
join this beautiful community that we're building, all of it will be there. My links will be there. If you don't know already, I'm Keith Hammer of the brand ambassador, uh podcast host, creator, customizer, you name it. I'm doing it when it comes to Can-Am. All my links below. If you want to be on the show, send me an email. We could make an appointment, set it up. And I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate all the support I get and all the invitations I get. I wish I can go to every event, but it's hard. I have obligations first and second, but I do eventually in my whole lifetime. I'm going to get to everybody's event one way or another. But I appreciate all the support. Claudette, I appreciate you being on the show.
Thank
She's
you for
got a
having me.
she's a plethora of information for women on road. So reach out and
And they can do that through my personal Facebook page, um, or they can message me through the Can-Am Women of On Road. We'll have our event listed later in a couple months, and we're gonna probably start registration opening up around June.
okay,
So, ladies, keep your eyes open.
that's it. That's it. Everybody, ride safe, please. Ride safe, okay?
Bye, y'all.